I think the hardest tantrums are always in public, right? Because on top of the tantrum, you also have all the judgment and the people that are not very understanding, I think. And that even adds even more stress. So let's get here a really stressful situation. It's you're waiting in the register at the supermarket. It's almost your turn to pay, and your child says just chocolate. And they say, I want a chocolate. And you had said, we are not going to buy chocolates this time because it's almost lunchtime. And your child, of course, because they are only 3 and their attention span, and of course they have very little impulse control still. So because children, very young children, they struggle a lot with this, even grown-ups. That's why we sometimes just, binge on McDonald's or whatever, because we also sometimes struggle with impulse control. But little children, they really don't have that part of their brain yet developed. So they see the chocolate and they just don't care that they said they wouldn't get the chocolate. They will be like, I want that chocolate. And then you'll be like, no, we said no chocolate, but I want the chocolate. And then it's your turn to start putting things at the register. And your kid is starting, Mom, I want a chocolate. And you're starting to feeling really stressed out. And you're just trying to put things and just focus on putting the things, to pay. And at the same time, your kid is starting to cry, Mom, I want a chocolate. And then everyone starts looking at you and judging, and there's someone whispering, kids nowadays, these moms nowadays, they have no control over their kids. Or even worse, there are all those people that say people shouldn't bring kids to the supermarket. They should stay at home with that, things like that. And you start really being like, oh my God. And then a woman at the register is very, she has her own life. She doesn't care at all. And she's being really fast. And she's already asking you for your card to pay. And you're like, why? And your kid is crying. And you scream at your child. I said no, because you are so overwhelmed. And then your child then starts really crying because they don't understand. They just want a chocolate. And suddenly the person they love most in the world is now really mad at them. They don't even understand why. So they really start crying. And you feel like the worst mom alive because you start really feeling like, I am really bad at this. And I hurt my child and I don't want this. And so you're just, what? I don't care. Grab the chocolate, pay the chocolate, let's go. And then you leave, and then you're feeling like the worst mom alive, right? And then what should you do? Finally, you paid. Now your emotions are a bit down, right? You're finally being able to access that rational part that is telling you're the worst mom alive, right? All that. That's the time. As soon as you're able to access that rational part of the brain, and whenever that is, maybe it's right after you pay, maybe it's on the way to the car, maybe it's when you're putting your kid in the child seat, maybe it's when you get home, and maybe it's just right before going to bed. It doesn't matter. At whatever time it is, you stop yourself, you breathe, take a few deep breaths, self-compassion. I am just being a human being. I am not perfect. I'm not a superhuman. There are no perfect parents. I made a mistake. Everyone does this. This is normal. Everyone in my position would have exactly the same reactions or feelings. And this is all normal. And then you go to your child and you say, I was mad at you and I screamed, and screaming is wrong. Everyone gets mad. Mommy also gets mad. It's a normal thing. And we don't scream at people when we are mad. And I'm really sorry that I hurt you. And I love you all the time. Even when I scream at you, which we shouldn't do, and I apologize, I still love you. And like that, you just solved the whole day. And you will go to bed feeling better about yourself, because all that connection will release also endorphins in your body. So instead of going to bed feeling like an awful person, you will go to bed feeling like, oh, I really love my kid. And your child, they're just going to play. For them, now life makes sense again. Everything is fine. And, mom loves me.
Forgiveness is so natural for kids.
And if you're able to do this, this is already an advanced level, but if you would be able to do this while you were still in the supermarket, and this is already advanced level, you don't try and reach for that right in the beginning. You need to practice, right? But ideally, what you want to do is the moment your child asks you for a chocolate and you are starting to feel really stressed out. So before you react mindlessly And this is something we have to practice, right, with mindful breathing and other things, to really teach ourselves not to mindlessly react to our emotions, but to be able to access the rational part of our brain before we do that. When we have that practice, then we are able, when your child is asking for the chocolate and everyone is judging, and the woman at the register is asking for your card, and you're feeling stressed out because people are like, when are you done? And all that, you're able to stop everything, go down on your child's level, ignore everyone else, because no one in the world is more important than your child.